So if you voted for Donald Trump or if you support Donald Trump, I'm reaching out to you. This one's for you. So I need to start out by saying that I lean left, but I think we've misunderstood each other for a long time. And I don't think we can afford to keep misunderstanding each other. We have to come together. So hear me out. Me being left means that I have the intelligence to see beyond myself. I can care about things that don't necessarily affect me directly. I believe in equality and fairness for everyone. And in doing this, I've been hyper-focused on the marginalized and the vulnerable in society, and I've kind of forgotten about the majority of people. So I want to say, I believe in your rights. I believe that you should be taken care of by your government, no matter who you are. But it hasn't stopped me from being furious with you. I am guilty of emotional responses, and I've been angry for a long time, probably 10 years. And I've been slowly, internally cancelling celebrities that I used to love as a kid. Am I supposed to hate Rocky now that Sylvester Stallone has praised Trump? I can't do it. I can't keep believing that everybody that supports Trump is a bad person. And I watch these Trump rallies where his supporters are talking about how Joe Biden is awful and Kamala Harris has been brought here by the devil and Nancy Pelosi is the head of some evil cabal. And I laugh at it. Then I also turn around and say Joe Rogan's a horrible person because he was supporting Trump, so he must have bad intentions. Am I any better than the people I'm laughing at during the Trump rallies? There are a lot of people out there that genuinely believe that the 2020 election was stolen. It's the only way that they could justify storming the Capitol. There's so much more to this. The people that voted for Trump have to believe that they've done the right thing. So we can't just keep letting this division between us grow bigger and bigger every day. We have to understand each other. And right now there are some very smart left-wing influencers using their big platforms the wrong way. I've seen whispers that there was some voter fraud, and I won't have it. As flawed as the system is, the vote was fair within that system. But I've also seen these influencers being a little bit petty and celebrating where a Trump supporter's family is no longer talking to them. And I don't like that at all. I really don't like that. Got to stop using our platforms to try and beat each other, for me to tell you that you're wrong. So yes, as much as one side can struggle to come to terms with the election result and the other side can celebrate it, my question to you right now is, what other side? We're all together in this now. My default has always been to respond emotionally and to fight the other side. But I think the last 10 years has been a masterclass in divide and conquer. No matter which side you think you've been divided into, whether you think it's the Democrats that were dividing and conquering, or whether you believe it was the Republicans that were dividing and conquering, either way, we are divided. And I'm not just talking about America. What America does impacts the globe. I have to change from trying to prove you wrong to trying to understand why you feel the way you feel. And if enough of us can do this, we can start to turn those fights into discussions, and those discussions into a sharing of ideas, and a sharing of ideas into learning, and learning into growing. Now, I absolutely believe there are some bad actors out there. Some people in very influential positions that are acting in their own best interests, even if it makes it harder or worse for the rest of us. And I think there are some deeply flawed, psychologically unwell people in those positions of power. But I don't believe that 51% of the people that voted in America are bad people. I don't believe that they're all racist, homophobic, transphobic, and trying to bring about the downfall of democracy in America. I don't believe that. And I don't believe that because I know some really nice people in my own life that think that Trump winning was great. Some people that are against having a rainbow flag at school. And I know that they're not bad people. I don't understand why they're against a rainbow flag in school, but I have to stop and reevaluate. It's not just black and white. They're not a bad person because they disagree with me politically. So what is it that I believe? I believe that misinformation has become fact in far too many people's lives. Although I don't believe it, there are many people who genuinely believe that the 2020 election was stolen. It's the only way to justify some of the actions that we saw on January 6th. So when you don't believe that the election was stolen, That looks awful. But if you do believe it, that looks heroic. And that's the part I've never been able to fully understand because I've never believed it. Whereas if the election really was stolen, then those people have every right to be angry. If I thought that my country's election was stolen, what would I do? I would 100% protest. I would never acknowledge the new government, but I would demand irrefutable evidence. I would ask, what are the sources of the claim of a fraudulent election? Is it just from someone acting in their own best interest? I would use the critical thinking skills that I have and ask myself, what is more likely? Hundreds and hundreds of news sources saying that the election was genuine, or would I believe the one source that says that it's not, and the people that are directly linked to that source? And that's why I will never believe that it was stolen. But that's because 10 years ago, when the term fake news started, I didn't fall on the side of Trump. I believed in mainstream media at that time. So from that point forward, I've never not believed in the media. Therefore, if the media is telling me that the election was fair, I still believe it. If I'd have fallen on the side of Trump and I no longer believed in the mainstream media, then I would start to think that the only person I can trust is Trump. And that's why I have to give the benefit of the doubt to the people on January 6th who thought they were doing the right thing. This is new for me. It really is. And the reason I'm starting to feel this way is because nobody really wants to look deep within themselves and start to question what they believe. But we're about to find out which side of the divide was right. History will look back on this time and have a definitive answer, because from now on it's no longer me versus you as a voting public. And I know that by reaching out to people that I don't align with politically, if the algorithm picks this up, I'm going to get some comments, and I'm ready for that. But I just don't have it in me to fight you anymore. I don't want to fight you in the YouTube comments. Don't want to fight you on Facebook anymore, because we're never going to change each other's mind. No matter how much logic and reason you think you're putting out there, it won't change somebody else's mind, especially if we're doing it aggressively. And it's been fun laughing at each other for 8 to 10 years, but it's too serious now. This issue never resolved itself the way that I wanted it to, the way that I think it should. And if I'm right, a lot of people are about to find out just exactly what it is they voted for. And it's why I've changed from being angry to just being sad. And I hold a lot of people in power and influence accountable, but I'll no longer blame the misled. I absolutely hold Donald Trump accountable, even though I think he is a victim of his own personality disorder. And I actually think that him winning the election is a complete accident because of what I believe is his narcissism. He can't accept or show that he lost the election. Therefore, he's accidentally brought about the downfall of trust in democracy in America. It's quite mind-blowing, really. And especially this time around, because the vote went his way, there's no questioning it. It's frustrating, to be honest. Regardless of that, if you voted for Trump or you support Trump, like I said, I'm reaching out to you because we are all together in this now, especially those of you in America. I feel like one day both voting groups are going to be united. I just hope that not too much damage has been done by the time you are united. If I'm right, the next few years are going to be pretty scary, especially given who we're seeing being nominated into Trump's cabinet. But this is the time now where we can fix the division amongst us. We can become a powerful force of one people. Maybe what we're about to go through can finally bring conservatives and liberals together, and we can find out that there's actually a lot more similarities than there are differences. I'm just terrified of what it's going to take for us to finally lay down our metaphorical arms. If you've made it this far, thank you. It's been quite an enlightening process while I was thinking about what I was going to say in this video. I have felt a lot happier within myself about finally ending the war against people that don't align with me politically. But the war's not over. If I'm right, it's only just begun. But instead of fighting against you, I'll be fighting with you. Until next time, take care.